It is our light and not our darkness that scares us. Real easy to be small. Real easy. You are scared of what it would mean to be big. Hey guys, and welcome back or welcome to the Limitless Conversations podcast, and welcome to another season. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, I am your host and your favorite friend, and it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. You freaking guys, if you're new here, this podcast it is about expanding, growing, and being our best limitless self. And y'all, we have made it to season 3. Something about season 3 just feels a little bit more mature. Like season 1 was like, okay, does she want to do it? Season 2 is like, okay, cute, she trying. But season 3 just feels like, oh, she's serious. And it's like, yeah, very much so. Very much so. So it's been a while since we've chatted. And so the first episode of of each season, I love to kind of like, I feel like it's only right to come back with the catch up. It's only right to talk about where I am, what's been going on. And then also I think it's really cool to reflect on each season. So as I look back and I think about season 1, I'm excited for the dopeness that's coming for this season. So let me get there. But as I think about season 1 was like, okay, get started. Like do it, get started. Season 2 was like, okay, be consistent. Like do this, show up consistently. Season 3 though, season 3 though is about growing. And it's not about just growing the platform. This season for me has really been about growing my network, reaching out, finding more people who are like minded, who can bring unique perspectives. And y'all, baby, have I had to deal with getting over my fear of rejection, getting over my fear of putting myself out there, how people will perceive me. Is what I do good enough? Will it look good? Will people want to be a part of it? Really tapping into the true essence of my magic, like understanding that the people that I reach out to, there's a reason that I'm reaching out to them. There's a reason that I have found them, and if they agree, then there's something that we're supposed to create together. And yeah, it's been an absolute journey for me because I felt intimidated. I felt a lot of things. So before I get into that, all that stuff though, let's talk about where I am in this season. You guys, in this season, it's really giving grown woman. I'm feeling a lot more mature, a lot more like my woman stuff. I have in this space of like defining my morals, my values, feeling really strongly about them. Child, the voice is voicing these days. I am speaking up. I said I wanted to be more kind and nice. I am. Speaking up more for myself, speaking up for more for what's right. Treating myself a lot better. Just so in this season, I am just in this development of woman Sean. I mean, have been woman Sean, but it's just feeling way more adult, way more woman these days. And so that's where I am. And the new thing I want to introduce this season, which you guys will see in some of the episodes, is I have a format that I like, okay? Because every episode really does start with some kind of thing that inspired me, something I transformed through, something I saw online, something, whatever. I just get inspired by so many things in the world. So I want to talk about the inspiration. I want to talk about the intention, like what my intention is in sharing it, what I want you guys to get from the episodes, why it's even an episode, right? And then there's the information. Right. I really do enjoy like being a Sag. I do enjoy like having things to back up what I'm saying. I enjoy when spirit teaches me things and then because this is how I typically work. God teaches me things or shows me things and puts things in my spirit. And then I'll come across some information that's like, oh, this is like an ancient wisdom, or like, oh, other people are already familiar with this, or oh, this is already a thing. Didn't even know. So bringing in some actual information as well from other people who have already discovered this kind of information. And then we'll get into the conversation. All right. So today on this episode of season 1, I want to talk about our deepest fears. I talked to God this morning. As y'all may or may not know, before we do every episode, I sit with God. I talk about the conversation, the topic, what God thinks about it, what God wants me to say about it, where direction and God. This is going to be a very much channeled kind of conversation from the notes that God gave me. And so the inspiration for this conversation has been my growth over these last few months, me being more comfortable with rejection, me becoming more comfortable with shining and being bright, me being comfortable with being authentically me. Shying away from overcompensating. You guys, so overcompensating. I used to overcompensate so much. If someone wasn't in the best mood, I would try to be the brightest light ever to make everyone feel better. I would over explain my boundaries, like, hey, I know maybe you didn't get it last time I said it. Maybe I should say it again. Like, I was an over explainer. I was a people pleaser. Like, I was emotionally managing for people so much. I didn't want people to be upset with me or offended or any of those things. Like, it was just very intense for me. And so in this season, I have been challenging myself to not do any of those things and to come from just true, authentic, and genuine places in my heart. Like, do I genuinely want to explain this? Does it genuinely make sense? Or is this a fear of someone being mad or wanting to leave? And so, like I said, bringing guests onto the podcast, building my network, getting over my fear of rejection, understanding the magic and the essence that is just me. Like, just the beingness of you has magic. Just your existence and like who you are is magical. And then there's like, it's really dope because there's people who you're supposed to connect with. And so as I'm sitting with how I've grown over this last few months, another inspiration is this poem. Now, I originally heard this poem in Coach Carter. And if y'all know, y'all know. And when my whole family heard this poem, it became like the family poem. I'm not even lying. Like, my mom, my granddad printed the poem out. It was all around our house. Like, we had to recite the poem. It was a real thing. And when I was young, to be totally honest, like, I thought it was dope. I felt powerful from the scene, but I didn't really feel it. Like, I thought it was a great poem and I felt it, but I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't know what the depth of this poem was about. I didn't know the aha moments until like God gave me this poem as I was thinking about this episode. And I'm like, okay. Okay, we're gonna go there. So, like I said, I originally saw it on Coach Carter, but I'm gonna tell you guys the inspiration. I want to tell you where this actually, or this is the information. This is actually where the poem comes from. So, this poem, "Our Deepest Fear," is a passage, and it is from a book called "A Return to Love: Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles." And this book was written by Marianne Williamson. And I am going to read the poem to you guys in its actual entirety. Um, and then we will get into like the breakdown of this poem and just what it like means to me and what God talked about when it came to this. So here we go. So if you don't know this poem, here it is. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Mm, 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 mm. Tell me that poem just does not feel good to your spirit. There's absolutely no way. If that didn't feel good to your spirit, Satan. No, I'm joking. I'm a chill. I'm a chill. So that is the information. That is like our reference point for today's conversation. So I sat with this poem. I played the clip from Coach Carter, which the poem is a little different. They shortened it a bit in Coach Carter. So I played the poem back over and over again, relived that moment in the movie, relived the moments that I'm experiencing, and I just wrote some notes about what God thought about this. And so we're going to kind of break it down a bit. So the first point is about how scary it is to step into your light. And the thing is that when it comes to stepping into your light, and when I think about what is your light, what is this light that we're referencing? I always just think about it being the truth of who you are. Like light is just truth. So when we think about stepping into our light, and the truth is that we are abundant and we are beautiful and we are talented and we are fabulous. And the thing that is that it's not as easy as people would think that it would be to step into your light. Because we do live in a world, in a realm, in a challenge of a world. When I say like the game of earth, the game of life, gives us so many opportunities to operate in the darkness, to operate from our lower selves, from our lackful selves. So the idea of stepping into the light means that you take the time to truly see the truth of who you are. And when you're thinking about making decisions, you consider, am I really stepping into my light or am I navigating from my darker places? The next thing I want to talk about is thinking you are inadequate. Okay, can we get into this? Because, like I said, this season is about growing my network, and we have some phenomenal guests coming on this season. And I really had to challenge myself to face rejection, but also to face people looking at my platform and deciding if I was good enough for them. And it scared me so much because it's like I felt inadequate. I felt like, who was I? Why would they want to be on? This is just real deal, y'all. I felt like, I don't know what accent that was. I really felt like, will these people want to come on my podcast? These people are doing their own thing. They are successful in their own rights. And am I enough? I really had to battle with, am I enough? And what helped me was me, like I always keep preaching, me understanding that there are just people who are meant to partner with me. There are just conversations that are meant to be had. And also, there is magic in me. So, for example, like I am such a fiery person. And so, like, I think the first time I was trying to message someone, I wanted to like type it out. But then I'm just like, that's not even me. That's not even me. Scrap that. I am a person who is very personable. Like I like to talk to people. I want to share my voice. I want you to feel my energy. I want you to know how genuine I am being. I'm putting myself out there. I'm gonna really go for it and put myself out there. But I really battled with, am I good enough? Because you look at people and you put other people on a pedestal and you don't realize that these people are just humans like you. And as I reached out to people and as people agreed and were excited and thanking me as well, I just thought to myself, like, people are just people. And these fears we put on this such a high pedestal as it being something that feels so unattainable that we make it bigger in our head than it actually ever is. So your feelings of feeling like you are inadequate come from you putting something on such a high pedestal that you're making it feel so unattainable. But the reality is that people are just people and things are just things, and that none of it really is that serious. And the only way to be to completely honest that you can come and actually resonate with this piece of the conversation is you have to live it out. You have to do some of the things that scare the shit out of you. You have to. Because until you do, it will always be something that feels so big, but then as you get closer to it, you realize that it is just a shadow that was casted on a very small item. And I'm not saying like this about the guest. I'm saying about what I built up about what people would think or feel about me. Instead of just saying, this is who I am. And either you want to join and partner with me, and either you take me or you leave me. Either you like me or you don't like me. But I had to also become unshakable in who I was. And so you have to also become unshakable in who you are, knowing the truth of who you are, knowing how you approach, knowing how you navigate, knowing what you want people to feel like when they experience you. I remember shooting the first episode with a guest, and it's not in the episode, but after we finished, she was like, I'm so glad that I got to do this with you because you have such a warm personality and you made me feel so comfortable. And that was such a confirmation for me of like, I did exactly what I had set out to do. That's what I want people to feel for me. So that's what I feel about the part about inadequacy is inadequacy really only comes from us putting something on such a high pedestal that we make it feel so unattainable. But it's only because we have thought about it, analyzed it, considered it, instead of just taking the action, which is another conversation for another time. Okay. So, thinking you are inadequate. The next part of this conversation is that there is no level of preparation that will make you feel more adequate. It doesn't matter how many times I rebranded the podcast. It didn't matter how many times I redrafted that email. It just didn't matter how many books I would have wanted to read about networking. None of that mattered because there was never going to be anything I can read that was going to make me feel more comfortable stepping into the unknown. I don't know. I've never done it. I've never had to network. I've never had to do that kind of stuff. So you don't know, and you cannot prepare for something that you have absolutely no idea about. And so for me in that sense, I all I could do was trust in God and trust in me. All you can do is trust in God and trust in yourself. Trust that God will equip you with whatever it is that you need in that moment. Like some of these things in your life, especially as you're stepping into the unknown, they will come step by step and piece by piece. You will not have the whole answer at one time. You will not have the whole puzzle at one time. It is uncomfortable. It is scary. It is. I'm not going to lie to you. But you have to trust in your relationship with God, and you have to trust in yourself to be able to hear from God. And you have to trust in yourself to be able to navigate whatever comes at you, whatever comes, and know that you were made for it. Absolutely. All right. Whew. The next part of this poem that has really resonated with me recently is playing small so that other people don't feel intimidated. This for me is just bigger than playing small. I would call it more like playing comfortable. This is why I talk about the emotional management piece and stuff like that. But really, what it was also. Let me just channel for a second and see where I'm gonna read my note. Playing small so that others don't feel intimidated. Okay, because I want to get into how it's actually hindering. Playing small, absolutely. All right. So now that I read the note, I'm back tapped in. Playing small is a game of lack. Playing small is a game of lack. Playing small is a game of lack. You are pretending, having a facade of being something less than you are because you want to hold on to something that you have. You are scared that you will lose something if you decide to shine. You are scared that you will lose yourself if you decide to shine because you will have to lose the versions of you that you used to be. And I'm not going to dive too much into that point, but what I will say is I will tap into the energy of worrying about other people. For me personally, when I would play small, playing small for me looked like not necessarily saying what I wanted. It would look like putting my feelings, my emotions, and my desires on the back burner so that other people could feel more comfortable around me. And as I'm stepping more into my womanhood, I have had to become in order to stop shrinking, you have to become okay with discomfort. You have to be okay with other people experiencing discomfort. Because when you start to change who you are, change how you navigate, people will rightfully so be confused, be a bit disarmed, be a bit dismantled, and they'll have to get their bearings again. But that is up to them. But you cannot continue to give yourself the excuse to play small because you are worried about what you will lose if you truly lean in, if you truly pick yourself. There has been things that I've had to say no, I couldn't go to because I just had to prioritize something else that was important to me at the moment. Did I feel a little sad that I couldn't make it? I felt sad that I was letting someone in my life down for something they wanted me to be at or to be a part of. But I also, in the same breath, was proud of me because I also had to prioritize myself because before I would have tried to burn myself out, I would have tried to stretch myself in every which direction because I was scared that if someone got upset with me, they would not want to be around me. They wouldn't want to be with me. There would be a conflict. You got to get comfortable with conflict. Conflict is a part of life. There's this quote I heard that said, when you strip relationships of conflict, you strip them of the levels of intimacy that you can get to. You can't strip life of conflict. So in order to, you have to also accept the fact that life will have conflict, and people will have problems with you navigating differently or with how you navigate, because we're all different and we all navigate differently. And so the answer isn't to shrink or to put yourself on the back burner or to put your needs and your desires on the back burner so that other people feel comfortable. You don't want to wear that fly outfit because you don't want somebody else to feel small. The thing about it is, when you start to live more and more in your, once you get comfortable, when you live more and more in your truth, and once you get comfortable with discomfort, the discomfort eventually ends. The discomfort is not forever. Depending on the person, depending on your relationship, and depending on yourself and how much you care, the discomfort doesn't last a long time. Most people who are healthy will adjust, will look at themselves, and will emotionally regulate themselves. You will not have to do it for them. So once you get past that discomfort, once they get past that discomfort, you have now given them an opportunity to grow. So see, it's not even just about you. If you want to be the person who is not considering you and you feel like it's selfish, know that you shining isn't even just about you, because when you shine, you show other people that it is safe to and that they can. You show other people how to do it. You remind them. I'm not going to say show as if these people don't have it inside of them. They absolutely do. They absolutely do have it inside of them. But you wake it up when you are you, when you shine. I remember being out one day and seeing a guy who appeared to be gay. I'm not sure for sure if he was or was not. But I remember looking at him, because I didn't talk to him, but I remember looking at him and thinking, oh my God, it is amazing to watch someone live so much in their truth, so unapologetic in their truth, that I was inspired to live more in my truth. How could I live more authentically? Because if this guy, I don't know what he identifies as either. I'm sorry, I would like to be sensitive. If this person is going against everything that the world says that they should be, and they are brave enough to be them, I can do the same thing. And you can do the same thing. They were an inspiration to me. And in that same way, the more that you live authentically, you will be an inspiration to people. Because what it does is it forces people to kind of start to ask questions. Well, why is she acting this way? Well, what's wrong with me? Why am I upset about? You force people to adjust to you, or they have to go. And that ties to the lack part of it, because either they will adjust or they will have to go. That's the only two options. But the option is no longer for you to keep being complacent, babes. Mm-mm. Honey. No, ma'am. It's not happening anymore. Love that. Okay. Next one. Okay, I love this one. I love this one. There's more. Oh, there's more. There's one more point. I love this one. We are all meant to shine. Okay. We are all meant to shine. You are special, but you are not the only one that is special. You are special, but you are not. I think what gets so misconstrued and where I felt uncomfortable was that, like, if I was to shine, well, I'm not even gonna, I was lying just now. I never felt uncomfortable about it. What helped me, or what the mindset that helps me with this, is the idea that I don't think that I'm the only one that can shine. I fully think that other people can shine as well. I fully think that everyone is gifted. I only think that people just choose not to do it. I only think that people just don't challenge themselves enough. But I think that everyone is capable. Are some people more capable? Sure, because they submit to it more. But I don't think that any of us have come here without a gift and without something unique and without a purpose here. And if you can be empowered in your purpose, whatever it is, we're all serving a bigger picture. Don't compare the part that you're playing or the role that you're playing to someone else's picture. I always think about, like, people who have a talk show, right? People would think of the celebrity as the person who has the big purpose, the person who's at the forefront of this as the person with the big purpose, right? But the person who's the cameraman, that show wouldn't even happen without him having a passion about cameras and capturing moments. That is a huge purpose. Don't compare it to the person who is the talent. They're two different purposes, serving two different purposes, both beautiful. The person who is the producer, who loves the back end, who loves to help bring a picture all together by being who knows their skills, knows what they're good at, and pulls the resources together. That is a purpose. And that is powerful, and that deserves to shine as well. Everyone's everyone's thing is just displayed or done differently, but we all get to shine. What song? We all gonna shine, so we might as well shine together. Baby, smile today. Yes, because we all get to shine. Because I'm shining doesn't mean that you don't shine. Because she's shining doesn't mean the person next to her doesn't shine. The gag is that we all just shine different. Even if you're in the same field, the what you will bring will be different. I think I've talked about this in the previous episode. You have to check that one out. I will try to figure out what that was. What was that episode? Was it allowing your light to shine? I think it was. I think I did a whole episode about this already, so check that one out. Um, so yeah. Yep. So yeah, no, that was at that point. Yep, exactly. I'm just reading the notes and I just put so don't get big headed. Be proud of your uniqueness while celebrating the uniqueness of others. We all have a gift. The only difference is that some people embrace it and accept it and some don't. That is literally, governor, the only difference. Okay. And the last one I already said it, but I'm gonna just rehash it because I didn't have this. I think I did say this one actually. But this is just the last point is just that it is safe to shine and it makes people question why look at me tapped in and remembering things without reading it. And that it's contagious. You're contagious, touch me, baby. Give me what you got in the midst. Oh, I can't sing that anymore. So I can sing that part anyway. Woo! So it's contagious though. You shining, you being a light, as the poem said, it gives other people the opportunity to. It is literally infectious. We all get to be infectious. You can spread your bad vibes. You can spread your anger. You can spread your darkness. But why, when you have an option to do something different, and maybe it might take in the beginning a little bit more challenging into your mind, a little bit more thought in your process of doing things, but why not? Why the hell not? Um, that song's in my head now. Baby, will let me explain. Okay. Y'all, it's Aries season, baby. I mean, there was no better time to launch this to bring the podcast back than Aries season. This has been developing since Pisces season, but Pisces season was a whole different vibe. Aries season is feeling like just that energy, that fire. Okay, so I feel a little fiery in this conversation, but I know that this transmission and that the tone and everything God curated so perfectly to articulate the message. And I thank you. I thank you for letting me be a vessel in this moment. I will link the poem below. I think you guys should check it out. If you have not seen Coach Carter, check out Coach Carter. But welcome to season freaking 3. We're going to have some really dope guests because, like I said, I have pushed past my fears and allowed myself to expand and stop being scared of greatness. Stop being scared to succeed, because whatever you think you're scared of is not what you're scared of. It is our light and not our darkness that scares us. Real easy to be small. Real easy. You are scared of what it would mean to be big. You are scared of what it would mean to be successful. You are scared of what it would mean to go after what you really want. You are scared of who you will have to be to do that. You are scared of what you may lose to do that. Because you've just gotten real comfy. comfortable in my skin, but I need you in this moment, in this terms of this conversation, to be okay with your evolution, to be okay with getting uncomfortable. So, welcome to season 3, baby. We have so many more of these conversations, some guests with some really great insights, you guys. Like, talking to them, them gracing me. I'm so grateful for them gracing me and being a part of my journey. Like, shout out to them because they don't even know what their yeses meant to me. And the people who didn't respond back, they don't even know what their no what their non-response meant to me. Although many of them responded. Because when you trust and you allow your luck to come through, things just happen for you. Know that. I love you guys. And how we are deciding to be limitless after this conversation is I am allowing myself to be limitless by n- playing big, playing big dude. I'm big dude, playing big dude. Yeah. Challenging myself, watching myself, and realizing when I start to shrink again and cutting it fast. Cut it out. I love y'all. I'm so happy we're back. And are y'all happy? Y'all, let me know what kind of conversations y'all want to see because some of this is pre-recorded, but some of it I'm still going to be live recording. So if there's a conversation or whatever that y'all want to hear, a video that y'all like that y'all want to hear me talk about, send it my way. Swing it my way. Shout it, swing my way. All right, y'all. I'm going to go because I'm being goofy now. Love y'all so much. Don't forget to follow me on all social media at Authentically Sean. I am going to be sharing like my goofiness and my high fashion sense and things like that on my social media. But following the podcast for all of the just enlightenment, good conversations, just this kind of stuff. Yeah, follow the podcast for that. And all those links will be below. And I will see you guys next freaking week. I love you. Bye.